A few months ago, I noticed something so small that, at first, I almost laughed at myself for even paying attention. I was carrying groceries from the car into the house. Nothing unusual. Just a couple of shopping bags. Halfway to the front door, I stopped. Not because the bags were especially heavy, because my legs felt tired. Not sore, not painful, just heavier than they used to. I remember standing there for a second thinking, well, I guess that's just what happens when you get older. I didn't question it. I didn't wonder why. I simply accepted it. Because isn't that what we're told? That getting older means slowing down, getting weaker, losing strength, needing a little more help every year. It sounded logical. So I believed it. But something interesting happened a few days later. I was listening to Dr. William Li. Maybe you know his work. He spent years studying how the body protects and repairs itself. And one thing I love about the way he explains science is that he doesn't make your body sound fragile. He makes it sound intelligent. That completely changed the way I started thinking. Instead of talking about disease, he talks about the incredible systems inside us that are working every single day to keep us healthy. As I listened, I found myself asking a question I'd never asked before. What if my body isn't giving up? What if it's trying to tell me something? That question stayed with me, because for years, I had looked at every little change in my body as proof that I was getting old, getting slower, getting weaker. But what if those changes weren't simply signs of age? What if they were invitations to pay attention? Think about your car for a moment. If a little warning light appears on the dashboard, you don't assume the car is finished. You don't say, well, I guess it's over. I guess you become curious. You wonder what it's trying to tell you. Maybe it needs oil. Maybe the tires need attention. Maybe it's something simple. The warning light isn't your enemy. It's information. Somehow, I had never thought of my own body that way. Instead, every time I felt weaker or more tired or slower climbing stairs, I immediately blamed age, not information, just decline. And honestly, that way of thinking left me feeling hopeless. Because if getting weaker was simply the price of getting older, what exactly was I supposed to do about it? Accept it? Wait for it to get worse? That didn't feel very hopeful. Dr. William Li never says our bodies can stop aging. None of us can, but he does remind us of something incredibly encouraging. Our bodies are constantly repairing themselves, every single day. Think about that. While you're sleeping, your body is working. While you're reading a book, your body is working. Even while you're sitting here listening to me, your body is replacing old cells, repairing tiny injuries, and adapting to the choices you make every day. That thought amazed me, because I realized I'd spent years acting as if aging was something that simply happened to me, when in reality, my body had never stopped trying to help me. Maybe I just hadn't been helping it very much. That was a humbling realization. I also started paying attention to everyday moments I'd never thought much about before. Getting up from a low chair, walking uphill, standing in line for longer than usual, carrying laundry upstairs. None of those moments seemed important by themselves, but together, they were telling a story, not about weakness, about capacity. They were quietly asking one simple question: how well is this body prepared for everyday life? And suddenly, my definition of health began to change. For years, I thought health was mostly about blood test results, or cholesterol, or blood pressure, or the number on the scale. Those things matter. Of course they do. But what if there's another question we should ask? Can my body still do the things I want it to do? Can I carry groceries? Can I climb stairs? Can I travel comfortably? Can I play with my grandchildren? Can I enjoy a long walk without worrying whether I'll have enough energy to make it back? Those questions suddenly felt much more personal. And honestly, much more meaningful. One thing Dr. William Li often emphasizes is that what we eat doesn't simply fill our stomachs. Food sends information. It provides the building blocks our bodies use every single day. Not magic, not miracles, just biology doing what biology has always done. That changed something for me. Instead of asking, How many calories are in this? I started asking, what is this meal helping my body do? That is such a different conversation. One question comes from fear, the other comes from curiosity. And curiosity is almost always a better place to begin. The more I listened, the more I realized something. For years, I had been waiting for my body to prove it was still young. Instead, I should have been asking how I could help it stay capable. Because capable is far more important than young. And that realization led me to one of the biggest mindset shifts I've had in years. I stopped seeing food as something I had to control. I started seeing it as something that could support the incredible work my body was already trying to do. That doesn't mean one food changes everything. It doesn't, but every meal becomes one more opportunity to help instead of getting in the way. And somehow, that feels much more hopeful than chasing another diet. Something else happened after I changed the way I looked at my body. I stopped asking, what's the fastest way to fix this? And I started asking, what does my body need from me today? It may sound like a small difference, but it completely changed my relationship with food. For years, I thought healthy eating was mostly about avoiding things. Avoid sugar, avoid fat, avoid carbs, avoid calories. It always felt like I was taking something away. No wonder it never lasted. But Dr. William Li approaches food from a different perspective. Instead of asking what we should fear, he asks what we can add. What foods help our bodies do what they're already trying to do. That simple shift made healthy eating feel less like punishment and more like teamwork, because that's really what it is. Your body is working for you every single day. The question is, are we working with it or against it? That doesn't mean there are magical foods. There aren't. No single berry, fish, vegetable, or supplement can erase years of inactivity or poor habits. I actually find that reassuring because it means our health doesn't depend on finding one perfect food. It depends on the choices we repeat over and over again. Dr. Li often talks about foods that support the body's natural defense and repair systems, not because they're miraculous, but because they provide nutrients the body knows how to use. For example, fatty fish like salmon or sardines provide omega-3 fats, which are important for many tissues throughout the body. Extra virgin olive oil contains natural compounds that are associated with heart and vascular health. Colorful vegetables and fruits bring a wide variety of plant compounds that help protect our cells from everyday stress. Nuts provide healthy fats, minerals, and protein. Beans and lentils offer fiber and plant protein. Foods like yogurt can contribute protein while also supporting gut health. None of these foods are exciting because they're trendy. They're exciting because they're ordinary. You don't need a laboratory. You don't need expensive powders. You don't need some miracle hidden on the internet. You simply need to give your body the materials it has always known how to use. That realization brought me so much peace because suddenly, healthy eating didn't feel complicated anymore. Then another thought crossed my mind. What if my legs don't become stronger simply because I eat better? What if they become stronger because better nutrition allows me to keep moving? Now we're getting to something important. Food doesn't replace movement. Movement doesn't replace nutrition. They work together. Think of it like building a house. Food delivers the bricks. Exercise tells the workers where to build. Without bricks, nothing gets built. Without workers, the bricks simply sit there. Your muscles work much the same way. As we get older, our bodies become less responsive than they were at 20. That's normal. But normal doesn't mean hopeless. In fact, research consistently shows that even people in their 70s, 80s, and beyond can improve strength through resistance training. That surprised me. I think many of us quietly believe there's an expiration date for becoming stronger. But there isn't. Your starting point may change, your pace may change, but your ability to improve often remains far longer than you imagine. I started thinking back to that day with the grocery bags. Maybe they weren't embarrassing me. Maybe they were inviting me to care for the body that had carried me through every chapter of my life. When I looked at it that way, gratitude replaced frustration. I also realized something else. Strong legs aren't really about legs. They're about freedom. Freedom to travel. Freedom to climb stairs without fear. Freedom to get down on the floor with your grandchildren. and know you'll be able to stand back up again. Freedom to walk through an airport, to visit a museum, to enjoy a vacation without constantly searching for the nearest bench. That's what strength gives us. Not bigger muscles, a bigger life. And isn't that what most of us really want? Not to look 30 again, but to keep living fully at 60, 70, and 80. That feels like a much more meaningful goal. One sentence has stayed with me ever since I first heard Dr. William Li speak about how the body works. He reminds us that our bodies are incredibly intelligent. The more I thought about that, the more I realized something. Maybe my body has never been the problem. Maybe I've spent years underestimating it. It's easy to criticize ourselves, to look in the mirror and notice wrinkles, gray hair, slower steps, a little extra weight. But what if we looked a little deeper? What if we noticed the heart that has never stopped beating, the lungs that have taken millions of breaths, the bones that still support us, the muscles that continue adapting every time we ask them to do a little more? That's not failure. That's resilience. Today, I still notice that climbing stairs isn't quite as effortless as it was 20 years ago. But now, instead of feeling discouraged, I see each staircase as a gentle reminder. A reminder to keep walking, to keep lifting, to keep eating well, to keep choosing habits that support the remarkable body I've been given. Not because I'm trying to stop aging, but because I want to age with as much strength, energy, and independence as possible. If someone had told me years ago that one of the greatest gifts I could give my future self wasn't a better skincare routine or a smaller dress size, but stronger legs, I probably would have smiled politely and changed the subject. Today, I understand. Because every healthy meal, every walk, every strength exercise, every good night's sleep isn't just about today. It's an investment in the woman I hope to be 10, 20, or even 30 years from now. And maybe that's the biggest lesson I learned from Dr. William Li. Our bodies aren't waiting for perfection. They're responding to consistency. They don't ask us to transform overnight. They simply ask us to show up again and again and again. So if you've been feeling discouraged lately, if you've noticed your legs feeling a little weaker, or your energy isn't what it used to be, don't assume your story has already been written. Instead, ask yourself one simple question. What kind thing can I do for my body today? Maybe it's preparing a nourishing meal. Maybe it's taking a 20-minute walk. Maybe it's doing a few gentle strength exercises for the first time in years. Whatever it is, remember this. Your body is still trying to take care of you. Maybe today is the perfect day to start taking care of it too. If this conversation encouraged you, I'd love to hear from you. What is one small habit you're going to start this week to help your future self? Share it in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to take that first step. And if you enjoy simple, science-based conversations like this, don't forget to subscribe. Every week, we explore trusted research from leading experts and translate it into practical ideas for living a healthier, stronger life after 50. Until next time, take good care of yourself, because your future self is quietly becoming the person you're choosing to be today. Before you leave, today we talked about protecting your strength. But strength isn't measured by a bathroom scale, and that's exactly what Dr. Vonda Wright taught me. If you haven't seen that video yet, I truly recommend watching it next. It completely changed the way I think about aging, and I have a feeling it might do the same for you. Just click on the video that's on your screen now. I'll meet you there.